Hey guys! Today, we're gonna talk about 5 forgotten features in WoW. Features that has either been removed or abandoned. If you're a veteran player, you might recognize some of them. Number 1. World Defense. World Defense was a really fun World PP feature that existed back in the day. To put it simple, it was local defense, but expanded, so you could see every single alliance or horde tagged NPC that got killed across the entire game. It wasn't even bound to a specific continent, which means you would notice if Storming was on attack, while you yourself were in the Nasus. It doesn't have to be explained why it was such an amazing feature for World PP, since you know exactly where the enemy faction is currently invading. There were a lot of World PP guilds that got great use of World Defense, and some were even created around the feature. They would have people heading out to defend any low level location that was invaded. This would help people leveling, since if the request giver was being ganked, assistance would come rather quickly. World Defense could sometimes be a bit spammy, since it counted every single faction tagged NPC, even those that are located where the enemy had a quest to do. One example is Deneb Walker in Stormguard. He would be killed a lot, and always give a notification to everyone that was signed into World Defense. Sadly, the feature was removed. You used to join the channel with /join World Defense, but it won't work anymore. The command will now only join a custom channel without any features. After sharding was added back in Warlords of Draenor, the channel didn't work as well, since it reported NPCs being killed that wasn't on your shard. So you would come to a city that wasn't being invaded, even if World Defense said it was.
It is my honor to serve Elune.
It seems like instead of fixing the feature, Blizzard decided to remove it. Thankfully, this is still a thing in Classic. As you can see, I get a notification about the Alliance NPC outside Uldaman, while being in Feralas. It seems like you even have permission to talk in it, once you reach rank 11 in PvP. Hopefully, Blizzard decides to enable the feature again on retail, since both World PvPers and role players would appreciate it. Number 2. Gladiators Coliseum. There is, or was, an amazing feature during Worlds of Draenor, the High Mall Coliseum. It was a free-for-all deathmatch that you could join if you had built the Gladiator Sanctum rank 3 in your garrison. If you won, you would receive the prestigious titles Lord or Lady of War, and the toy Warlord's Flag of Victory. There was a chance at additional World PP drops as well. Truth is, this feature wasn't removed, but it is almost impossible to get a Q-pop these days, with the reason being that a lot of people don't know about it, and not many people visit their garrison either, or have the required building for it. Let's just say, it is pretty abandoned. However, for this video, I made sure to gather 15 people that had all the requirements to queue up, in order to showcase it. It starts with you entering a room with your enemies. Then you wait for a few minutes before you get lifted up to the arena floor. After 2 additional minutes, the battle begins. If you get killed, you'll be put at the spectator lobby to see the outcome of the battle. It would be great if Blizzard would add an easier way to queue into this, since it's a waste of an awesome feature. Maybe even make it into a brawl. Especially since most other free-for-all arenas are quite empty these days. Number 3. Kiting. Do you ever wonder why you never see kiting anymore in retail? In Classic, you had insane events such as Heramus being kited to Stormwind, or even demons invading. Sadly, in retail, kiting is removed, and I'm fairly certain sharding is behind it. Sharding pretty much isolated every zone, and whenever you try to bring an NPC outside of the zone, they will either reset instantly, or follow you 100 yards or so, before they get forced to reset. You can see in this case, with the spider from Redridge, I can bring them a tiny bit into Elvin, but at one point they'll head back, while still wanting to stay in combat with me, since my portrait shines red. This reset is not because you failed to keep their attention, it is simply because they can't follow you. I tried it with mind control, to force an orc from Ashenvale to follow me into Azshara. But the moment you change zone, the mind control would break, and the NPC will teleport back. The same thing happened while me and Loki tried to kite Orhan Ogreblade to Orgrimmar, in hope to slaughter everyone there. But you can see, the second the zone changed to Southern Barrens, the NPC disappears, while also being in mind control. Or how about the Balguards in Athrak Mountains? They will despawn shortly after going into Arati, so no epic Stormwind kite can be done here. I even tried a death grip strategy, to get NPCs across their reset point. But that ended up with them evading and stuck at 2 health. Let's just say that kiting is ruined, and in my opinion, it makes the in-game world feel just a little less alive. It is either sharding causing the issue, or something else Blizzard added, to stop NPCs from being kited too far into a new zone. Whatever feature it is great if it could be removed, or altered. If it is sharding causing the issue, it would be good if it was replaced by layering, similar to Classic, since kiting is still present there. Number 4. Old Treasures. Back in the day, before Cataclysm, there was a lot of amazing items you could get by different means. Some of them being rare dungeon drops, or from specific mobs, such as the Chromatic Sword or Papal Fez. A lot of these items were removed, because the NPC you got it from was taken out in the Shattering, while others weren't able to drop anymore, since the NPCs that carried them had their levels altered. One example of this are all the rare items inside Uldaman. A lot of NPCs in there were around level 44 back in the day. But after patch 2.3, as well as the Kata pre-patch, the overall dungeon level were lowered drastically. Things that used to be obtained from anything in there started to only drop from specific mobs and bosses. The rarest of the items, for example Miner's Helm of the Deep, which was a unique transmog, or the twink item Pendulum of Doom, were both too high eye level for any NPC in there to still drop it. However, there was a source in there that could drop any trash items that didn't have a level, and that was the ancient treasure chest at the end of the dungeon. There was a massive treasure hunt in some part of the community, to find the things that people believed to not be obtainable. I myself did hundreds of runs, in hope to get the famous Miner's Helm of the Deep. As you can imagine, they went for insane amounts on the auction house. These days, it seems like some of the old rare items has been added back, and can drop again from mobs who didn't use to drop them. I am unsure if Blizzard manually added them back, or if the level scaling and level squish both help to make them more obtainable. Still, they have an insanely low drop rate, and depending on the item, can sell for millions of gold. Let us see if we ever have all the old items from before Cataclysm, or if some will stay lost in time. Number 5. At War. At War is a feature not many people think about. It is an option in the reputation panel, where you can decide if you want to be able to attack NPCs of a certain faction. Let's say for example, if you are really annoyed at that one quest giver, you can just end up slaying them. It is a solid RPG element, and a lot of old factions in Classic has this option. All the Goblin factions, Argent Dawn, Cenarion Circle used to be an option, but it seems to have been removed on retail. A fun thing this enables is for you to get your reputation increased with certain factions you might not think about being friendly with, such as the Bloodsail Buccaneers, which is essential for the Bloodsail Admiral title, the Insane title, as well as some clothes. It will even make the boat into a rested area, which is not the case if you ain't friendly. At war, will even allow you to slay Ravenhold embassies and get your reputation to neutral with Syndicate, a faction which gives you no rewards at all, except you being able to brag about being one of the few people not hostile to the bandits. I'm still working on this grind on my paladin, since it takes a while to bring you up from hated. If you ain't careful, however, you might end up hated with a faction you need to do quest with. Which was the case for me on my paladin, with my Azeroth quest turn-in during BFA, a quest I still haven't done. These days, the feature is not really used. There are barely any factions added after vanilla that will allow you to go at war with them. Even worse is that the few you're able to go to war with won't make any difference since the NPCs stay friendly to you. And when they added the Paladin Order Hall, they even bugged up Light's Hope Chapel. The guard NPCs there are no longer hostile, not even if you attack enemy players or quest givers. Hopefully, the Add War feature can be expanded upon someday. Maybe make it so you can grind reputation to have your own third faction, similar to being friendly with Syndicate. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.